As for the rest of the field, the 450s have a big storyline. We touched on this at the top. Cooper Webb back from a thumb injury. We might get Justin Barcia back. His knees were banged up earlier in the year. And Ken Roczen's going to race. You never know. You never, ever know what Ken Roczen, what you're going to get. JT, you seem to think at Unadilla, we might get a really good Ken Roczen coming off of a leg injury.
I do, and I think the weather is an underrated part of this story too, because if storms roll in there and we get a muddy, cool Unadilla, a rider like Ken Roczen who's coming off of injury, who may not be as physically fit as a Chase Sexton or a Hunter Lawrence because they've been racing all year long, that's going to go out the window. They won't be facing such brutal conditions as far as fitness goes. You think about Ken Roczen last year at High Point in really ruddy, soft, tricky conditions, how capable he was. I don't think it's a stretch to see Ken Roczen come in here and be on the podium, at least in a moto, and fighting up front. I believe that's what Ken Roczen expects out of himself. And usually when he's on point like that, he comes in and does it. So I think everything's on the table for Kenny.
Now, Webb's going to race the final 3 races, so that'll be a building process. It'll be fun to see where Webb fits in. But Roczen throwing another typical Roczen, where did this come from, curveball. He's going to race Ironman on a 250. What? What is that?
I will be racing a RMZ 250 at Ironman. Yep, you heard that right. I'm going to be mixing it up with the kids. Super excited about it. It's been about 100 years since I've ridden a 250 for real. And yeah, I figured, why not? Have a little bit of fun, right? I hope you guys enjoy it.
This caught everybody by surprise. Maybe there were a few people on the planet that kind of said, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I was not one of those people. So as a fan and someone who gets to talk about these races on the broadcast, this is amazing because we truly don't know what's going to happen. Can he mix it up with Hayden Deegan and Hymas? I think so. But at the same time, you know, he's on an RMZ 250, which we know is a little bit behind in development. They're still chasing those other OEMs to get back to their former glory. So what does that look like when he hits the track in Ironman? It's going to be a great storyline to follow, but we get to see what he's really got at Unadilla before we even have to worry about that.
Yes, I don't think anyone had a Hayden Deegan, Ken Roczen rivalry on the radar this year, but we might get it for one race.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.